Hey guys, Zoltan here, and in this video we will take a look at the NVIDIA RIVA TNT2 M64. Unfortunately, the M64 is not standing for 64MB RAM, it's standing for the 64-bit memory bus. And this basically gives us a very nice, very cute card, as I would say it, because as you can see it's a very small card. The PCB itself is just this little tiny thing with a D-sub connector in it. We have the BIOS chip, it's like a really old style, and we have only 4 RAM modules here, and it indicates that it has 32MB memory, which will be twice as much as we had on the TNT card and the same memory as we had on the TNT2. Basically, this card is the TNT2. The only difference is the memory bus, which is halved, and on these older cards the memory bus basically gives you the performance of the card as I saw it. So yeah, these cards are totally GPU memory limited. So basically we will see half the performance of the TNT2. I think it would be around the same performance as the original TNT, but we will see how it will go. It has advantages, basically the core clock from the TNT's 90 MHz, as I remember well, it up to 125 MHz, and now this card has 150 MHz on the memory, which is really good, and we have this small nice fan on it as well. Yeah, 2 pins. It's pretty small, I hope it's not that loud, but we will see. And we have an AGP slot. It can be AGP4X as I read it, but in our Pentium 3 machine it will run at 2X, which is basically not an issue. I have no idea who made this card. It just looks like a generic card, but still pretty nice. So yeah, basically, yeah, twin texel, we have 2 pixel and 2 texturing units, and yeah, we are able to do multi-sample texturing. Yeah, and DirectX 6 compatibility, basically what we have seen with the TNT and the TNT2. Yeah, so I'm really curious how this little card will work, and I hope you will enjoy this video and you're interested in this in general very common card. It was in our pack, if you still remember it. Many different cards came in these little boxes, and I thought the TNT M64 is the closest to the cards we have tested already, and in the future I will go to test the SIS 6326 AGP M64 as well, which will stand for 60 MB of RAM. So yeah, that will be another interesting project. We see in the card how it performed with the PCI and only 4 MB of memory. So yeah, but that's another story. So let's go to the benchmark, the driver, and to the games as well. So once more, I hope you will enjoy the video. As before, we will use the 71.84 version of the driver, at least in part 1. I will release, hopefully very soon, a part 2 as well. Well, I will try the detonator driver you suggested, and we'll see if the performance differs in 3D marks, in games. So basically the same way as we test a different card, and yeah, we'll figure that out. So basically it's the same TNT2 logo here, only difference is that it has the Model 64 here in the graphics processor name, and we have 32 megabytes, which is a pretty large number. And also, yeah, here we have RIVA TNT2 Model 64, Model 64 Pro. So, don't waste any more time, let's see the games. GLQuake first, 640 by 480. We have 106, 800 by 600. $73.6, 1024 by 768. $50.1, 1280 by 1024. $26.8. So, as you could imagine, this is whole totally memory bandwidth dependent, which means in lower resolutions we had the same scores as basically with the TNT2. You can check this out in the Excel sheet at the end. And yeah, and the latest resolution, the 1280 by 1024, basically just a huge drop in performance, because I think that's the point where the memory bandwidth is just not enough, so it just cuts it in half compared to 1024 by 768. I think this is the same thing we could expect from all other games, that in 640 by 480 and 800 by 600 it will run just really good as a TNT2, and 1024 by 768, maybe the TNT performance and high resolution will just crash it, basically, because of the memory bandwidth. So let's go to Quake II. So Quake II, and we will start at 640 by 480. $38.8. Well, I already consider it a bit low, but we should look just at the previous scores with the other cards, and we'll see about that. 800 by 600. $41.9. So it's a better score, so what I will do is just let's go back and do a second run just to make sure. Maybe just the first loading made it a bit slower than it should be. Yeah, this time we have 65.5. 1. So yeah, probably, because in general if I run it multiple times it's around the same score, so it could have been something. 1080 by 768. .6. Yeah, that was noticeably slower already. And go to our final score, which will be 1280 by 960. Probably would be pretty slow. It's not just slow, it's laggy. Could be around 11 or less frames. Sorry about the background noises. And we are at 12.5. So that was Quake II. Let's move to our next game. So here we have Sin at 640 by 480, and with the TNT we had frame rates between 20 and 40. So let's see what we have with the M64. Well, I would say it's very close to the same level of performance. So let's see, 800 by 600. And still, here we are. Maybe I'll just shoot most of the guys already. Shouldn't make a big difference. Or it does, because we have some nice frame rates. Yeah, basically kind of same, not worse at least. So yeah, that's the card's performance. Let's see, 1024 by 768. Okay, so here we can notice a large drop in performance. We are under 20. So basically there is no reason to have 32 megabytes on these lower end cards, and it's continuing even today, that you have no enough memory bandwidth to support large resolutions at all, which would require larger memory. So absolutely no reason. Maybe some marketing. Otherwise, I don't know. It's game playable. Just would be the exact same with 16 megabytes. Maybe for UT 2003 and 4 it would be a thing, but I think the performance of the card itself is just way not enough. So let's go and see the 1280 by 960 now, and a reload because no enemies are around. Let's expect the worst. Yeah, just around 20 or 12 frames, and 9. Yeah, it's horrible. You see, it was a decent performing card in this game until the higher resolutions. So if you had like a small screen those days, like a 15-inch CRT or something, low resolution 800 by 600, this card would just as good as the TNT, or maybe the TNT2 as well in some cases. It's a good value, but not for high resolutions. It's like you can buy a cheap card today and play at 1080p, and it's cool even in high settings. Or you can go for high resolution and very expensive cards, and yeah, choice. Yeah, so that was Sin. Let's move forward. Quake III. We're using the same setting as we used before, 640 by 480, and we will keep everything at 16-bit. Go to the demo and run it. .3, not that bad. Let's quickly switch to 800 by 600. Cool, and run the demo again. .8, so not too good scores, but still it's pretty acceptable. Let's go higher in resolutions. 1024 by 768. .8. It's not that much worse, I'll just say. And let's go to 1280 by 1024. Okay, and go to the demo. Cool. it's pretty bad now. Well, it's awesome, really sharp. $12.7. So yeah, it's pretty cut in half again, as usual. So that was Quake 3 version 1.32, just to mention, and let's go to the next one. Just a quick look at Turok. As you can see, it's pretty glitchy. I think this is because of the RIVA. We have the same stuff with all the TNT cards, basically. Character moderns, particle effects, translucence, textures are pretty messed up, and even the UI and the text is horrible. So that's about Turok for now. We will take a look later on the detonator driver, and hopefully it will solve these issues, because they are exactly for the TNT cards. Not sure if it will work with the M64, because it's not in the driver as I looked. But it's for the Wenta, which was the TNT. Not sure really, so maybe it will just work and no issues, or I will ask on the forum, or maybe in the comment section. But yeah, I will want to try the 2.08 driver later. So here we are with Insane 640 by 480 and everything the lowest turned off and so on. So let's see how it will perform. Well, it's pretty good, I think, compared to any of our previous tests with the TNT and the TNT2 as well. Yeah, I have this flickering line kind of thing. I think it's a driver issue. I was able to set, you know, in the previous video for OpenGL, this kind of thing off. What it was, a filter or double buffer or something like that, I'm not remember, sure. Sorry. Yeah, but it's not working here for the direct 3D. So we have some minor flickers. Not even sure if it's the same thing, it's not that annoying. It's all with DirectX, basically. But I had the same stuff for the TNT2, so it's not the issue of the card. Sorry, too much talking. Let's go to 800 by 600 now. Setting up the performance in a reasonable way from the 50 and 60 to around the 40s. 30s. I think it's still not an issue, it's the actual fair rate, I guess. I'm just horrible with this game now. Maybe the blocky wheels are the issue. No, seriously, it's not even a frame rate. I'm just pretty bad with this. You know, this is so extremely slippery. Not too responsive. Okay, go to 1024 by 768 now. Okay, back again. So we are just about 30. It still doesn't really feel like a memory bandwidth thing, cause it's reasonable, not that huge drop. And it definitely looks better. 20s. Yeah, it's acceptable. Okay, let's increase the resolution to 1280 by 1024 now. Let's see, and also notice that even 1024 by 768 and this resolution is without the actual flickering issue. Everything just looks so sharp and nice, and yeah, no glitch at all. So just for low resolutions, as far as I realized. And yeah, it's from the 15 kind of thing. So it could be that we were just limited from the beginning, or this game is really like just feel rate intensive, because it's like linearly scaled basically, so no huge drops. It's not even playable anymore, but nice and sharp, and it's still running without issues, so it's pretty good. I would go with 1024 768 and the lowest settings, and that will be a more or less playable thing here. 800 by 600 would be better, but because of the flickering, I would just say no. Is that guy just going through the actual terrain? It looks like sometimes. Okay, pretty cool. That was insane. Let's just move to the next game. Even the menus are pretty slow. I mean, as you will notice, if I press enter, that here in the menu, lower resolution, and the flickering is back. So something resolution related somehow. Do you have any ideas why it's resolution related? I had the same thing with the Voodoo 3, but only in 640 by 480. Same flickering, but only in that low resolution. 800 by 600 was great with the Voodoo 3, so not sure what this is. Windows stuff, DirectX, not sure. Okay, next game. Let's just quickly see Drakan, the Order of the Flame. Everything at the lowest, 640 by 480. Starting with 60, that's cool. Some drops. 40s and the 20s, not so good. 20s, and we have some flickering textures here and there. Okay, let me just push myself into the game, just see how it turns out. We have some minor lags at the beginning, as usual. Yeah, but with her faith, I don't have a sword. Sorry, I don't know quick solution to grab my sword. 30. Oh, my mouse is just extremely loud. Okay, cool. Let us see how much time it takes to switch a resolution. So many other options. Okay, 800 by 600. Let's see if it crashes. No, it goes. I'll just keep continue it. So we lost a few frames, like 5 or 10 at most. Still pretty good. Hey yo. You're gonna kill me, right? Still good. Go up a little bit. So once I tested this game, like in previous videos, I thought it's just extremely CPU limited, but all I had to do is just decrease the settings inside the game, not just in the launcher. Now the frame rates are quite acceptable, so let's just stay up here because this is where we test in general. And as you can see, it's still pretty good. I think the suggested card was a TNT for this game, so it's pretty much good. Yeah, it's definitely seeable. The texture resolution and also the texture colors are a bit low. These creatures will kill me. These are the worst, as I mentioned before. But we are at 20, 30. And it's extremely dark, I just can't see, and I'm watching my phone, so yeah, we're gonna die here, but it's still cool. Let's increase our resolution to 1280 by 1024. Displays native resolution. And just to do a nice comparison, start a new game and see the intro.
For a little brother, you're not half bad, Dylan. The way you found Adamar's dagger was clever and
it's not that bad. We are at the 20s. Still, I think it's a pretty linear scaling. Not that bad. And we don't have the flickering stuff anymore. 15s, yeah, it's a bit more than linear downgrade in the frame rate. So this is the resolution, which is basically too much for the M64. The previous one was pretty good. Now we have some flickers in the shadows and stuff. It's basically because of the very low settings. If I just set everything to low and not this extremely low, it will be better. Still, most of the stuff looks cool. I don't think they changed the skin or the character, maybe just a very little decrease on the general textures. The landscape texture is just way off. Yeah. You can see these sharp changes in color. This is because 16-bit. It's not 32, or maybe some textures are 8-bit only. Not sure. It could be different, but I saw something like this in the options. Okay, guys. So this was Drakan, definitely playable, and not worse than the TNT. So maybe it will be just between the two cards or somewhere, depending on the resolution, of course. Okay, let's go to the next game. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 640 by 480, everything at the lowest, and as I checked with the TNT we had 26 frame per second in general, so let's see if it's better or worse. Oh yeah, controls. Every time this game resets all the settings because of its demo version, and they decided not to save anything. Thanks for it. It could be a little bit worse, not sure, because in the beginning it was a bit better than what I remember with the TNT, and also here, yeah, we are above the 25 mark by much, and it's really smooth actually. So I think in this low resolution it's much closer to the TNT2 than to the TNT. And yeah, it's the same chip, so that's why same clock rates. So yeah, in average it's at the TNT performance, but depending on the resolution it can be a bit worse and much better as well. So I'm still watching through my camera the whole thing, because it's in front of the monitor now, because it looks better to capture video from the front and from the side. Yeah, I really need a capture card, just don't know which one to buy. I just want to start with the cheap one, and as I realized, yeah, I could buy one to capture a 640 by 480 or 800 by 600, but for higher resolutions through a VGA or D-sub connector, well, it's just not that cheap anymore for high resolution. So yeah, maybe one day. They're pretty good. I'm just too immersed in the game. Okay, let's see 800 by 600. Yeah, we are still at the 30s. It's a very good start, even better than... Okay, just in the beginning, high frame rate, but here it can drop down a bit. These textures on the card, just without the reflections or specular components, it's just unrealistic old age. Yeah, on a high setting, these games are pretty good, pretty nice, but yeah, maybe when we'll go up to GeForce 3 and 4, we could enjoy this game. I wanted to play Underground as well, but it really requires Windows HP or Windows NT, so... And I was also not planning to improve the DirectX version to 9.2 or anything on Windows 98. That's for the Pentium 4 machine, that's for this one. Okay, cool. Go to 1024-768. We already have a very noticeable drop at the beginning, from the 30s to the 25s or something. This is kind of same as we had with the TNT, a bit worse here. Yeah, tens. Yeah, it's a huge drop there. So this is the memory bandwidth here, definitely. Everyone have the same car. Cool. Let's go to 1024. No, 1280 by 1024. Quickly, because the video could be very long otherwise. And yeah, this is also a very bad start, around 10 or 15 frames. And in the city part, what is we want is 7, 6. Whoa. Yeah, uncontrollable. Totally. I like this blue look of the car. Also, I will come up with a retro or old timer car kind of video, just quickly going through like 50 nice cars like Porsches and other Hungary specific, not the Porsche, the others, Wartburg or the Lada and all other kind of stuff, like really nice cars from the past, and T-model from Ford and those kind of cars. Maybe I just add music to it and just show you some stuff. It will be just a little extra video, something if anyone interested, because I've been at this car display kind of thing last week, so yeah, this is something that will come very soon. And also I want to release part 2 as well with the detonator. Yeah, similar plans, and I had so much to do in the last month, so finally this video is in the making. pretty good. I hope it will be a nice one. What the fairy tale I'm doing here? Okay, so... Okay, that was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, and let's move to the next game. Just a quick look at Unreal Gold. I won't change the resolution because if I do it will completely freeze, and after reboot it will stay at this resolution. And as you can see, this is direct 3D, and the usual issue, driver probably. So just a quick look at the frame rate. It's doing the timing kind of stuff. We have this average of 22 basically. It always goes back to it, I think. Yeah, the start is pretty bad. It's going up quickly. I see the last second is 32, so we have some 60s here and there, going back to 20s, and it will end up around the 40s again, I think, at least 34, 36, it's climbing up. So there is no reason to really mess around with this Unreal Gold thing. Not even sure why I always include it, maybe for older cards, and yeah, if the driver will be better, it will be good. So let's go and see what Unreal Tournament can give us. Unreal Tournament using the OpenGL renderer and 640 by 480, everything at highest, and 16-bit of colors as far as I remember. Because yeah, we're testing everything in 16 bits. And we have 32 frames with the TNT itself, so let's see where we are with this one. Well, I would say we are exactly at the same kind of frame rate. I don't think it's any VSync or other, because it'll go elsewhere. I'm not trying to aim with the actual crosshair. I'm aiming with the camera center point. Okay, never mind, it's almost at the same point now. Just a little off. More than a little. Okay, let me try to watch my monitor instead of breaking my neck doing so. What's wrong with you? You gotta be strong. Yeah, we are at stable 30, a little bit above, it's pretty good. I'm just changing the resolution quickly, if it's not crashing. As you can see, it's OpenGL, so no graphical glitches. Look how smooth it was, just a few clicks, and I'm back on. OpenGL is awesome for, well, basically, this sniper guy, making me angry. If I move inside, go there and kill him. Yeah, I will not do if I can't. And now the other one with the rocket. And yeah, the frame rate is a bit lower. 28. I'm not sure what kind of bots they are, but they are pretty good this time. Yeah, just a little below 28. What are these moves as well? There was not clever thing standing there. 26. Okay. Let's see what we can handle. Unreal is a demanding game, so... Okay, we have a very little greenish thing here. And now, yeah, the UI started to die. So that's what I said about OpenGL, that it has no issues. No, it's not an issue, it's completely normal. I mean, if I would restart the game, I would have the same frame rate without the glitches. So looks pretty good. Now we're at 24, so there was no huge drop in the frame rate. It just slowly goes down by increasing the resolution, but I will still back the 1280 1024 will crush the frame rate. Also, the display is a bit blurry now, so RAM back as well at the highest. But the native resolution is actually good, so it means it's just the monitor, it can't really scale properly. And look, I haven't reset the average. General issue for me. And even in the direct 3D, I wasn't able to use the detail textures ever, and in OpenGL it's just there. It's pretty cool. Yep, our new average is much more like it. We had 5. So as you remember, we dropped 5 by 5 frame rates or less by increasing the resolution, and this resolution is just pulls it from 25 to 5. Exactly. So yeah, it's horrible. Just to make sure, the previous resolution was around 1024, 68, around the 25 frames. I switch back. And I also reset the timer, because it was a fault last time. And see if we will go around the same frame rate. Or I kill the memory. We don't have the glitch, but it remained at 11. So this resolution is an issue too, and I was just looking at the average without realizing it's worse. Not sure, because it's pretty much low now. Okay, no issues. Go back. And do the reset again. 0, 1. And I'm not reading the averages, sorry. Oh, as you can see, we are down a lot. Just because switching the resolutions, basically. 20 is less, 18. And I guess if I go back to 640 by 480 and my logic is correct, we should be below 30 this time. Or I was completely wrong in a way. Yeah, as you can see, or not, because we are back to 30s or something. Just a little bit below 30s, so yeah, higher resolution is definitely a bottleneck, but maybe not as drastic as I thought. Yeah, using my monitor is better than the phone. Cool. Okay, so that was Unreal. Let's move to 2003. UT 2003 640 by 480 16-bit lowest possible settings, and we had around 15 frames average with the TNT, going down to 8 and sometimes reaching 20. So yeah, in the start I have seen like a 8 and 12 or between with the TNT. Just look back at the video, what I did, settings and stuff. We're pretty much around it, but actually a bit better. Like we have 5 frames extra or something compared to the TNT. I think we were well above the TNT2 level, of course, even in this resolution. But maybe here the 32 megabytes actually helping, so we can reach around 30 sometimes. Debating how much ammo we can have in this weapon. Okay, let me try to jump, and maybe watching the monitor would be also a good idea. Cool. Hey, okay. That was luck. So damn dark. Also, the sun is started to creep in the room, so I'll fix that. Very soon. Okay, let's see about switching resolutions while in the game. Going to 800 and 600. Yeah, it's smooth. Just that FPS, so I'm going to reset stuff. Well, it's a bit worse, not that much. Over frames, spinning smoother, and it's definitely 16 bit of colors and some effects. It's really noticeable. It's a pretty stable around the 14s. Maybe this was the frame rate of the TNT card on the 640 by 480, kinda. Sun is burning out of my eyes. Cool. And this one is smoke is nice. Yeah. Okay, go a little bit higher. We have the memories, so shouldn't be an issue. Keep settings. Okay, we are on 10, 11. Looks pretty nice with this resolution. Just the textures is starting to be really blurry. Yeah, 11. It feels a bit more laggy, but otherwise it's worse. Definitely noticeable. But the graphics is good, no glitches. I think these newer drivers are for these kind of games. But we will see in part 2. So, one more thing to try is 1280 by 1024. Awesome. Okay, the mouse is lagging as hell. So we reached the end of the memory bandwidth, definitely. Yeah, from 10, 11, we are at only 4 and 5. So you see, this resolution in every game is just too much. And it's not helping that we have 32 megabytes instead of 16. It's just not good enough. Memory bandwidth limit. Also, I think even the TNT2 had issues here a bit. This game is more like it for the GeForce 4. Yep, but we tried and it runs and it's pretty nice as well. So let me just forfeit. Mouse fix itself. I'm going back to 640 by 480 just if I switch cards. It will not crash for me. And so on. Let's go to UD 2004. Here we are, 640 by 480, and with the TNT we had averages around 5 and 7, sometime reaching 10, really rarely. So let's see how we go with the M64. Yeah, we are at 5, 6, 7. Okay, and the current frame sometimes at 15. I would say we're at the same performance.
Power node under construction.
10 is pretty good. Okay, so same as the TNT or just a very little bit above it, not sure really. Okay, with the jump, I can go down. Oh, I just wanted to crush this guy. I just can't really see him. Ah, he's in this car. Or a mantle. It's not a mantle, it's a manta. Yeah. It's pretty horrible. Okay, let's just quickly try to kill this machine with higher resolutions. 800 by 600. Quickly switching res. It's cool. And now it just hangs a bit.
New power node under construction.
6 and 7. And yeah, we have this hangs, like lagging. Just freezing for a few moments, waiting and just loading the rest of the environment. I think we just run out of memory, texture memory, or it's just that slow to stream in. Could be. Go higher. Really no reason to do that, just curious. That's why we're here. Just crazy stuff. And now, yeah, it wasn't as smooth. But yeah, the textures and everything just became blurrier and everything looks just sharper in a way, so it's... Yeah, this resolution is kinda optimal in a way. And not in performance-wise. Yeah, there's freezes and hangs are just common now, even more. Like it's... I just can't imagine I can move around with 5 frames or 10 frames per second. But not turn around, it's another thing. Okay, and finally go to 1280 by 1024. A long hanging. Extremely limited. Wow, okay, so now native display sharpness. It's pretty cool. Texture in the car is horrid. Performance is not that much worse because we're still at 5. We just now go above 7. And it's laggy. Really laggy here. Horrid. Okay, we can do something worse. I just want to suffer, you know. 32 bits. Can it switch? I see myself in the reflection. That's something. Keep it. You can go any lower than that. Look at that, halving the frame rate. And I'm playing with 2 frames per second. Daredevil. Okay.
Red power core is critical.
It's a new kind of competitive.
Red power core is critical.
2 frames average. Super smooth gameplay. We need 60.
Destroyed.
I can lose with 2 frames per second. Let's go. So that was UD 2004, and our next game will be the fantastic Mafia, and also our last game for today. Okay, let's go and check that out. So here we are with Mafia, just after the intro, everything at the lowest, 640 by 480, and let's just drive around basically. Hey, where have you went? To the left. So I go this way. Yeah, the draw distance is just not good. And I'm going too far, too fast. I should have just turned on speed limiter. But no, I will not do that. This is an extreme speed. I'm going with 40 meter per hour. Yeah, that's something. Sorry. More important than that we are around 25, 30. It's pretty good actually. Almost the same as with the TNT. Stuff looks a bit strange. Shadow under me is just kind of projected texture. But yeah, it's not that bad, except this flickery thing. Sorry, yeah. Okay, go and see what it can do in 800 by 600. So 800 by 600, and still the frame rate is pretty much the same, a bit lower, just a few frames. Okay, I'm really going fast. We'll follow everyone, right? Okay, let's move faster, see if it runs nicely. The police coming for just randomly hitting cars. Not that much. What about people? Is it GTA in a way? Yeah, kinda. Sorry, testing frame rates. Yeah, it's not as, I wouldn't say detailed. I'm just trying to compare it to GTA 3. It's more lifelike and maybe just not as an open world kind of thing. It's more like just roads and backgrounds, but the game itself and the story is just on the top. Cars are not really braking. Or maybe it's just the detail setting, not sure. Okay, let's go up by one notch in the resolutions. And 24 by 768. Well, so just lost very few frames. Maybe this game is totally CPU stuff. Not sure. It's really interesting that it's not decreasing my frame rate. Again, I'm just want to follow this guy for no reason. 30. It's not even worse. Not by a little. It looks nice. I guess it's pretty good. Only annoying part if I exit the game to change the resolution. I just need to restart the whole PC because it crashes and freezes and stuff. What's the general thing? Ooh, nice level of detail transitions. You can see on the car it's like a box and some kind of a car, and also all the minor details popping in. It's really good compared to the age of the game. I'm sure it was necessary to make it run nicely. It's pretty nice, and also there's cube maps in the cars. Not bad. So let's see the highest resolution, and we are done. 1280 by 1024, and as you can see, so far we had just very minor drops in frame rate, and with this resolution, finally we have this kind of a larger drop from 25 to 14 or 15. It's not that big of a deal, but still it's noticeable, and also it's way less playable. Of course, the resolution itself looks pretty nice. Oh, those beautiful trees with just 4 sheets in total. Yeah, there is. Can't wait to see this game with a proper graphics card. Never saw it. But yeah, we are doing nicely. 17. So guys, let me end this video by saying this car was a nice surprise. It performs much better than I expected. It's pretty okay. And in the next part, we will take a look at the detonator drivers and see if it can go better, and then of course all the other TNT card can go higher as well. So yeah, it was nice testing this one, and very soon we will go with the sys card, and I'm not even sure anymore it's really 64 or how much 16 megabytes. No, I'm not sure. M16 should mean something else, unfortunately, but we'll figure out in the next video. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those things that are really motivating me to do these videos more frequently and at all. So thank you once again for all the nice comments, good ideas, suggestions, and for everything. Trying to improve the videos as always. Thank you once again, and have a very nice day, night, or what you have there. Bye bye.